Hey, welcome back. One of my dear subscribers asked me to formulate my thoughts on toxic self-love. So in this video, I will be talking about healthy self-love versus toxic self-love. Now, I want to start off by saying that these are my opinions, my personal experiences. I'm not a professional, and I also don't claim to know the absolute truth. I will just speak here from my own experiences, from what I've learned, the books I've read, and the things I've talked about too with people, and my own internal reflective processes, right? So the main distinction, I think, between healthy self-love and toxic self-love is the way it affects other people, right? If you practice self-love, this means that you know that you deserve your needs to be met. There's a deep inner knowing that you are deserving of love, that you are deserving of your needs being met, that you are deserving of the things that you want, right? Now, toxic self-love is a form of entitlement where you think, where you believe that you have the right to claim the things you need from others. It is some form of taking. You are taking what you think you deserve or need. And by taking, you are negatively affecting other people. Now, healthy self-love is the complete opposite. Because love is a universal force. And I am you, you are me. So if I take good care of myself, I am taking good care of you too. Now, if I take away from you, what that means is that I am doing you bad, and doing that I am causing myself harm too, because there is no way to escape this universal law. I think that I believe, this is my belief, that if you treat others badly, you are simultaneously treating yourself badly. So toxic self-love can be a way for people to cover up their insecurities, because most people who say that, oh, I'm going to do this because I love myself, if you hurt another person deliberately, then this is not self-love. This is insecurities. This is a fear that you are not deserving of your needs getting met. And so you need to take from others in order for your needs to be met. So this is an entitlement. This is a toxic form of self-love. I wouldn't even call it self-love. I would call it some kind of manipulative tendencies that you engage in out of fear. So understand that the people who talk about, well, I'm going to do this because I love myself, if this is with maybe even a subconscious intention to hurt others, then it is not self-love. Now, a healthy form of self-love, like I said earlier, is the inner knowing that you are inherently deserving of care and attention, that you're inherently deserving of your needs being met. And maybe it's good for you to look at it from the perspective of a baby child. Is this baby deserving of love, care, and attention? Of course it is. It is the most innocent human being that you can imagine. There is no small part of your brain that thinks that this baby deserves to be punished, or this baby deserves to be isolated or abandoned. Of course not. It deserves all the love, care, and attention it needs, right? But as we grow up, things start to change. And we start to experience withdrawal from our parents or from our caretakers. And we install beliefs that, oh, I no longer deserve for my needs to be met. So that must mean that I am unworthy of these needs being met. And this is where it can get problematic. Because if you go down that route, then there's two things. You can either feel extremely unworthy and lock yourself up and, become depressed, isolate yourself, etc. Or you can go the other way and become extremely manipulative, become extremely toxic, because we all have the same needs and we all deserve to have those needs met, those inherent needs of being taken care of, being loved. I think that everyone deserves those. Even the most terrible criminals, they have a certain level of, they deserve a certain level of respect. And that doesn't mean that the terrible things they did is something that I approve of. Not at all. But I do believe that every human being deserves some kind of decency, some kind of respect, simply because they are alive. You understand? I believe that toxic self-love can be healed with healthy self-love. Forgiveness and understanding, seeing that when people are acting in ways that are entitled, when people are acting in ways that is causing harm to others, I really believe that this is because they harm themselves, that they are in so much pain that the only way for them to relieve that pain is by causing more pain. It's a perpetual cycle. You can't really get out of it until you start to forgive yourself, until you meet people who are willing to approach you with a non-judgmental attitude. I think that hate is not going to heal hate. Love is going to heal hate. Right? So healthy self-love can heal toxic self-love. But don't let yourself get fooled by the people who hide under the cloak of, I am going to do this because I love myself. Well, if you are deliberately causing harm to others, then it is not healthy self-love. Another form where self-love could turn very toxic is if you are convinced that, okay, since I love myself, I have to put myself first over anyone and anything else. This is, again, not correct, because we are social beings. We depend on one another. We can't survive all by ourselves. Currently, there is a trend towards extreme individuality, right? But that's also, I think, a big cause of so much suffering in the world right now. People are feeling more isolated and lonely than ever because they think that I have to put myself first at the cost of everything and everyone else. And that is not a healthy form of self-love. That is toxic self-love. Because by doing that, you most likely alienate other people, and as connection and appreciation and affection and intimate relationships with people is also a need that we have, eliminating those relationships by putting ourselves first all the time is actually taking away of the needs that we have. It's actually removing the things that we actually deserve, right? So this is not real self-love, because true self-love also encompasses the relationships we have with other people, and putting yourself first all the time. That is not the right thing to do. Sometimes you have to make a sacrifice, but you have to know when it's the right time to do that. And you know it. You know it when you're sacrificing yourself for the wrong reasons. You know it when you're putting yourself aside, right? Tough love, healthy boundaries with people, that is also a form of healthy self-love. Now, the toxic form of that would be you allowing other people to cross your boundaries all the time, and then growing resentful and expressing that resentment in passive aggressiveness, for example. That is toxic self-love, because you sacrifice yourself in order to keep the other person happy, but you are actually not keeping them happy, because you are acting passive aggressive because of your resentment. So again, putting yourself first over everyone and everything else, or putting yourself last, is also toxic self-love. It is not true self-love to put yourself last because you think that I have to be good for everyone surrounding me. Yes, of course you want to do as good as you can for everyone surrounding you, but sometimes you have a limited capacity for good, and then you need to allow yourself to rest, to recharge, to reflect, to energize yourself again. And if you can do that without hurting others, but by telling them that, hey, I need some time to process this, or I need some time for myself to recharge, if you are not deliberately causing harm, that's a form of healthy self-love. Healthy boundaries is healthy self-love. Sacrificing is also healthy self-love if you know that it comes from the right place, and you know it, you feel it in your heart. You can't trick your intuition, you really can't. But you suppress it, you ignore it. That is totally, perfectly doable. And the human capacity for denial is immeasurable, it's infinite. So you can definitely talk yourself out of it. That's no problem whatsoever. But it will be there, and it will be this nagging feeling where you know that actually I should put that boundary. Actually, I should take some more time for myself. Or actually, I should sacrifice myself a little bit more because I have been extremely selfish. And selfishness, don't mistake selfishness for self-love. Self-love is not something selfish. Self-love is an inner knowing that you deserve your needs to be taken care of, that you deserve respect. That you deserve respect. That is true self-love. And toxic self-love is rooted in insecurity. And it concocts all kinds of weird frames and lies and manipulations in order for you to get what you think you need, in order for you to get what you need from others, because you believe that you are unable to meet those needs yourself, or you are unable to show yourself vulnerably enough to get them met by others, right? Because a baby child, they are completely vulnerable. They can't take care of themselves. And sometimes we, as grown-up adults, find ourselves in similar situations, and that can be a cause of a lot of self-judgment, because we feel like, I feel so helpless. And it's scary to feel so helpless, because then that means that you require other people to take care of you in that moment. And that is what vulnerability really is about. And I think it's a superpower. It's a superpower when you can admit that you are in need. But it has to come from a place where you know you deserve this need to be taken care of, and then it will be taken care of. It's not this needy, tense, entitled form of desire. It is more a knowing, an inner knowing that, okay, right now I am in need of care and support, and I deserve that care and support, but I don't claim it from others. I invite them to provide me with that care and support. I invite them, invite the people in your life. Open yourself up, allow yourself to be taken care of, and make a distinction between the toxic form that is rooted in insecurities, and brace yourself for this. Brace yourself for this. Know that whenever people are treating you like this, with the excuse that, oh, I love myself, so I'm going to put myself first and I don't care about you. If you don't care about the other, that actually kind of implies you also don't care about yourself. Because you are me and I am you. So completely not caring about anyone means that you're actually also not caring about yourself. So remember this, understand that if someone is totally not caring about you, how you feel, what you do, what you think, then they are most likely also not caring about themselves. So this is kind of how you can make a distinction between healthy self-love and toxic self-love. So that is all I have for you on this topic. I hope you learned something. I hope it was informative. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any remarks or comments, or you thought of something as I was talking. I love to have conversations with people about these things. So feel free to leave a comment, and maybe share this with a friend who you think might benefit from this. That will greatly help me out to grow the channel, and hopefully your friend or loved one can get something out of this as well. So that's it for today. Thank you for being here with me, and as always, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.